Welcome to the weekly tactics webinar here at Inside Real Estate. I'm going to share to all of you guys the document that you see on the screen. So you should see that popping up now. And what we're going to do today is niche focused Facebook ads tactics. Basically, for the past few days, I've been testing a couple of different angles. I want to share the results with you and the example ads, and also run through the basic creation of a Facebook ad. We haven't done that in a while on these sessions, and there have been some questions recently. We'll touch a little bit upon retargeting, and that's about it. That should get us pretty far. And there's some juicy stuff here today. So again, these are recorded. The link is right below the title in the document. Recordings are here and here. If you're watching a replay right now, you'll have that link somewhere near where you're watching the replay. All right, so let's jump right in. I'm just gonna start showing some of these ads that I've been playing with on the screen, and you guys have them in the doc too. So one of my favorite angles is the downsizing angle right here. And basically that's where you target ads to people who are probably thinking about retirement. You know, they're probably in the 54, 53, 54-year-old up to about the 65-year-old range is the assumption that I make. And here's an ad I ran the other day. Click to see a complete current list of 55 plus adult community homes for sale in Pinellas County, priced from $14,000 to $950,000 plus. So this is kind of my favorite niche focused Facebook ad template that as a rule of thumb usually works, where it's just click to see this list, and then in parentheses the price range. You know, putting numbers in your ad copy stops traffic. It's kind of a little bit of a pattern interrupt, gets people's brains to focus in on something and holds them a little longer. And then I just put pretty explicitly what the thing is as the headline of the ad: Pinellas County 55 plus properties for sale. This image I found in the free stock images. I'll show you that in a minute when we go and run an ad. Oh, well, hello. Somebody said they can't see. Here we go. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes, I can, Ryan. Yeah, I think what's happening is maybe Paul has a screen up on top of his. So Paul, you might want to minimize all of your screens and then bring them back slowly until you find it.
Oh, okay, thanks guys. I thought maybe in connection with the audio issue, I had to reset the screen, so I just did that. Okay, so yeah, basic ad format, 55 plus. This is a really cool angle if you want listings, of course, because, you know, thinking about who that person is who's going to opt in for this list. If they're thinking about downsizing into a 55 plus home, really good chance that they have a house to sell as well. So I have a friend, Walt, here in Central PA where I am today. He's built his whole business around this idea and loves it. So just an idea for a niche focus you can adopt. Let's look at the numbers. This is about 3 days now. I kind of ran the ads over the weekend in preparation for this. Target was 54 to 64. So far, as of this morning, when I made this doc, it was 57 clicks at 60 cents a piece. And I know it's been, you know, it's been 3, 4, 5 leads. I'd have to go in and look, but they're dribbling in, right? So that's one. And today, because I just launched these, I don't want you guys to go and run this ad and then come back to me in like 5 days and be like, I didn't get too many leads. I know that this idea works and I've generated a lot of leads around it, but this particular ad copy is a new test, and you know, you're going to need to tweak to get it to where it's generating leads at a comfortable pace for you. What I really wanted to do today was just show some examples and minimize any resistance between you creating a Facebook ad and not, by giving you, you know, 4 or 5 ideas that should work. Okay, so that's that one. This one I think I posted in the group is the rent to own angle. I love this angle. Here you go, Dwight. While we wait for that to load, Dwight asked for the link. A couple of people probably came in late, so let's just drop the link to the doc again. Send to all. Here you go, guys. And I'll make this a little bit bigger. I'm sorry if that one was a little small. So see a complete list of Pinellas County lease to own homes now. I didn't put pricing on this, but what I did was I threw some arrows inside of the ad off of the screenshot of the lease to own right here. So it actually got some reactions. That's kind of cool. Pinellas lease to own homes list. And this one has been on fire. It was 240 clicks at 48 cents per, and this definitely generated some leads and a showing request that I'm aware of so far. Let's see. Yeah, it might be just a matter of resizing your window. Sorry about that. Sometimes GoToWebinar can be really strange. Okay. So that's the rent to own angle. You guys have links to these. You can copy the copy in the ad exactly. That particular image was created by using Lightshot Screenshot. If you don't already have this tool, it works on both Mac and Windows. I'm going to Google Lightshot Screenshot. And it's kind of my favorite one of my favorite digital marketing tools. This, screencast-o-matic.com, and Google Draw. For somebody who's never learned graphic design, you can do a lot of cool stuff with this. So you can download it, and all I need to do is hit print screen. So I can go to, say, a picture of a house. We'll just go to this one right here. Print screen. It grays out an area. I draw a rectangle. I left click. I draw a rectangle. And then you can have some fun and draw some arrows like. And I just like these in ads. They're ugly, but they stop people. It's kind of telling a story, like something's going on. My wife makes fun of me all the time for my ugly arrows, but it's because they work really well for getting attention and getting people to take action online. And you saw that took me 2 seconds to do. I just print screen, drew the thing, and I'm good. And I can make a pretty cool image. So that was the rent to own ad. Again, 240 clicks at 48 cents per. If you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't really want rent to own leads, we had a thread in the Facebook group. It's not so much about the rent to own lead. It's about generating the conversation about real estate. Anybody who's kind of thinking of moving in the next few years, even if they're renting now and they're thinking about buying, they're going to find that idea to be interesting. So the idea is just get them to opt in. Reply, hey, I saw you requested rent to own information. Did you want to talk about the process? Make sure you're educated yourself. Get on the phone, talk about it, and then mention that it probably is just as easy or might make just as much sense to get pre-approved for a mortgage. It's a pretty easy, transition to make. And a lot of people, we all assume because we're in the industry that people know whether or not they can get a mortgage or they know how it works. A lot of people who just assume they're not qualified are. They might think they can only rent when they opt into an ad like this, and then 2 days later they've talked to your mortgage guy and they've got a pre-approval. So it's a great ad for kind of just sifting leads out of there. And the targeting, I should have mentioned, is just all I did for the targeting on that was just people 24 to 33 years old, nothing else. So I know that a lot of people, I wanted to bring this up today, a lot of people are worried about Facebook getting rid of a lot of the targeting options. And the past month or so, I've been running ads without the homeowner targeting, even without the income and things like that. And honestly, it doesn't seem to be affecting things that much. We're in a lucky industry where everybody's going to have to move at some point in the next few years. So our ads are going to be relevant to most people. So I don't know. So very broad target, everyone 24 to 33. And for you guys who are more advanced, you can kind of take the clickers and remarket them. You can kind of build audience lists and remarket them, in order to get those better audiences and make up for that losing that targeting. Okay, income properties. I'm rambling on. So this one, it falls in the category of business opportunity, or make money. It's the shows are on late night. Carlton Sheets, the gurus, they're everywhere. Everybody's coming through town doing these conferences. So everybody knows that real estate's a good way to kind of get rich. It's a tried and true way. So this ad, click to see a full list of multi-unit income properties with cash flow potential, will appeal to people. It'll work. And you might have to sift through and have conversations with people who may or may not be ready to invest. But in the process of doing this, you're going to have those conversations about real estate, just like the rent to own, about the investment process. And then you may be talking to somebody who doesn't really want to buy an investment property now, but maybe they want to sell their house, trade up, trade down, and so on. So click to see a full list of multi-unit best properties with cash flow potential in Pinellas County. I forgot here to put my price range in. That's just a faux pas on my part, but I bet I would get better click-through if I had, price from 33,000 to 2.5 million or something like that. That one I was running at just people with a college degree. So that targeting is in Facebook, and I'll show you that in the dashboard in a minute. So that has gotten 93 clicks at 36 cents a piece. So really cool. And I think that's what we're talking about today. We're talking less about the conversion, even though we'll get to retargeting, than just how do I use Facebook ads platform to just get clicks to my website fast and start to get some activity. And I think these will get you there. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Likely first time buyers, I called it. Oh yeah. So click to see a complete current list of starter homes in Pinellas County, and here's the price from 75,000 to 250,000. And I played around. I have a shop now button instead of a learn more. And I've done that here and there. I kind of forget to do it, but I think it works just as well, or maybe even better than the learn more. This image was in the free library when I was creating my ad in the stock images. I thought it was really cool. It's like a little action figurine with the blurring in the back. I think it just kind of pops and to me looked cool, so figured it might for the ad, and it has. It's done good. It said 46 clicks at 69 cents per, relevance of 5, which isn't too bad. Can get better, but isn't bad. And then the target was just people with a college degree, 22 to 28, likely first-time buyers. So again, we should be fine. If the sound goes in and out, guys, sometimes it's just GoToWebinar and me trying to click too many things at the same time, especially Facebook and Google Ads platform will just bog things down a bit. So hopefully it's back. Okay, so the bigger next one is the one that's actually done the worst, but is maybe going to yield the best quality. And I think that I can optimize this based on past experience and do better than $1.97 a click. But basically, this ad is appealing toward moms. And the offer is, oops. Here, give me 1 second. Do wait for me here because I want to show you this ad. I must have copied and pasted that twice, which is what I did. So just bear with me. I'm just going to go into Facebook and get it. But the idea behind this ad is to target moms with younger children. It shows an image of a stressed out mom, and it offers her the chance, a list of bigger houses. So let's go ahead here. And I'll get you guys the proper link inside of that document. And this actually, there's a correlation, a pretty good correlation between the relevance score right up here. See this right here. And my cost per click. You see how this last ad is a 2, while the others were 5s and 6s. I had a 6 on the senior, a 6 on the income properties. Okay, so let's talk about how to optimize a campaign that isn't doing awesome. So this mom's campaign, it's 16 clicks at $1.97 per. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dig in and just kind of show you some things that I would try first right here. So we'll go to the campaign, Pinellas Moms, go to the ads. And the two main things that I'm gonna switch is the image and or the copy and or the targeting. So that's actually 3 things. But let's go in here and look at the image. Look at the ad that's not doing well. 18 clicks, 204 click. And I'm going to click duplicate when I hover right here. You can kind of see my cursor on it. So click duplicate. It'll duplicate my ad right here. And best practice would be to call the ad what you're doing. So like image number 2. And I'm going to do big house. So we had mom here all stressed out. And what I'm going to try instead is I'm just going to try to switch up the image, and I'm going to do maybe a picture of a house. So I'm going to clear the initial image here and then select an image from the stock images. And I'm going to type big house. So look for kind of a big interior. And I want it to look like my area. Not a lot of these look like Florida. So just bear with me here. This will work. And actually, now that I think about it, the default image that was picked from the search link was actually pretty cool, but that was probably another agent's listing. So safer not to do that. So need a bigger house, see the full list now. So just changing the image sometimes will help you get a better click. Try to have it this image kind of has a lot of different colors and contrast, and that might help the case. The other thing you might try is just change the main headline. So, big houses in Pinellas County with 2,500. We'll just say, see the list now. Okay, and then underneath I'll do 2,500 square foot plus. So a good rule of thumb is going to be not to change too many things at once, but if you're really unhappy with the ad, you can go ahead and do a totally almost different ad like this, where I change the image, I change the copy, and a lot has been switched up, just trying to beat that earlier control, right? And then later on, once I'm starting to narrow in and get closer to an acceptable price per click or price per lead, then you might start to just change one or two, one little thing at a time as kind of an optimization. So there's just a little bit of an extra here. It's kind of a little more advanced and falls outside of what we were trying to accomplish on the webinar today. But I think it's relevant. If you do stab at one of these niche focus ideas and you're not happy, it doesn't mean the idea didn't work. It might just mean you need a different picture or slightly different copy, and then things start to look really good. Another thing you might play with, of course, is the targeting. I was targeting moms with kids of a specific age. Maybe the target wasn't big enough. Maybe you can go back and rethink that. And you can also duplicate the whole ad set and try with a different target if you want. Okay, so that's that. Those are some ideas working now. There are lots of others. You could do land. Basically anything you find on your Conversion or KV Core website on the regular search, all the different categories on the front end of your site, those could become an ad for a specific target, okay? But these 5 ideas will get you going. All right, so now let's do an ad creation walkthrough, and we're going to do a seller ad from scratch, because I know a lot of you guys want seller leads. And I'm going to start this section with a disclaimer and say that I personally, as a philosophical, whatever you would call it, I personally don't like the ad that I'm about to do now. It's the what's my house worth ad that everybody in the industry does. And in my opinion, they generate a lot of sort of looky-loos, and people they want to know their grandma's value, and it's not always a quality lead. But if you do this the right way and you also retarget, which I'm going to show you, then maybe you have a better chance, and it could become more about just kind of building your brand and getting more clicks to your website. Then it makes a little more sense. But I know you guys are going to want to see a seller ad. So let's walk through. And the process that I'm going to use for the seller ad is very similar to what you would do for all the buyer ads above. So first thing I'm going to do is go into the Facebook Ads Manager again. And I'm in my campaign here. I have my user site conversion testing in this particular campaign. So I'm just going to add a new ad set. You can either create a new campaign or a new ad set. It's up to you. And I'm going to create this and call it seller leads St. Pete. Seller leads 33707. So what I'm going to do for seller leads is target specific zip codes. That in my mind is the best, and based on what I know, is the best way to kind of make an ad that is very relevant to people and gets them to click to find the value of their house. So I'm going to call this ad set seller leads 33707. All right, that didn't work. RH demo. I'm going to create a whole new campaign, 33707. Facebook has been very glitchy. And then I'll call my ad set 33707. So you could do one campaign that you call seller leads and make a different ad set for every zip code with a different ad. So that would look like this. And then my targeting is going to be 33707 down here. And an important point to bring up right now is you see this locations item right up here. This is easy to forget and to miss, but you probably don't want to run what's your house worth ads, seller ads to people who are just in town visiting. So I'm going to make sure I pick people who live in this location versus everybody, people who might be traveling or recently in the location. So there we go. That's a nice tidy 4,500 people. I'll take this and kind of bring it into the age range where homeowners are likely to be in the 29 to 65 plus range, about 29 to 64. The detailed targeting, I don't really need to worry about. Again, Facebook's getting rid of that homeowner stuff. I like the college grads, but you can go pretty broad with this and you don't need to overthink it. Just go everybody in a certain age range who they probably own a home in your area. Only thing maybe is married. So So now I've got people who are married, somebody married 29 and older, good chance they own a home, right? Not always, but good chance, better than most. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit my placements. Now, I like to remove the audience network. That's kind of Facebook's, third tier traffic, and they get it from partners, and you can get a lot of cheap clicks from that. But in my experience, it's not great quality, and it's good to just leave it as the Facebook and Instagram and Messenger right here. You can choose mobile devices or desktop only or specific phones. And you can also choose only when connected to Wi-Fi. So you have somebody who's not distracted. They're not sitting in the line at the grocery store. They're probably sitting at home, not wanting to blow through their phone data. So they're sitting at home on their own personal internet connection, taking their time. So that's a good thing to choose there. If you're not getting enough traffic, then you may go back and take away the Wi-Fi thing. Okay, and loosen it up. Daily budget. You can get pretty far at 5 a day with one of these seller campaigns. And I'm going to leave everything else exactly as it is right here. I'm not going to play with any of these other options. Click continue down at the bottom. All right, now I'm going to pick my fan page. Now a little bit of a hack. I like to create fan pages called What's My House Worth today, or you can just use your regular fan page, but sometimes asking a question in the fan page name is a good strategy because the human brain naturally wants to answer a question, so it makes them stop for like even a split second and focus in on your ad. So what's my house worth today? It's kind of like they've asked themselves a question as they read it. So just a tactic if you want to create a separate fan page for that. It's not a must, but it's a hack. So next we're going to pick an image. Now here I'm going to get a little more advanced. I will say that the image that comes up when you build a seller squeeze link in Conversion or KV Core is actually pretty good. So you know what? Let's look at that first. I'm going to go a little bit out of order, and I'm going to build the actual seller link, and then we'll go back and put the image in because I want you to see how that looks. So I'm going to go into KV Core here, and I'm going to go to where it says Lead Engine. And I'm going to pick IDX Squeeze Page. I'm going to have to choose my domain. Click Start Building. And then right up here, kind of in the middle here, Seller Squeeze. Okay. And I'm going to choose my source, Facebook. Hashtags, seller. Now, you may have to go and create a contact with that hashtag before it'll be available. I know I have that here, so I'll just go ahead and grab that. Okay. Area, well, that's my zip. And I don't know that for a seller squeeze is important, the actual area. So it probably doesn't need to be there now that I think about it. This is more designed for if you're doing a property search link. So I'm going to then now go click Generate Link, and I get both my short link and my long link. And you'll see here, it has the hashtag seller in it, has my town, my zip, and it links to the sell page. I don't think that the area is important, but it won't hurt to put it in there. So now I have my link. I'm going to take that to my Facebook ad. But before I do that, I'll just mention that on Conversion Plus, it's pretty much the same thing. You're going to go to Lead Generation, click Build Squeeze Page, and then it's right up here up top. And this is where you toggle it right here to Seller. So you just toggle that down to Seller, and then you do all the same stuff I just did, and it'll generate your link for you. So let's go into Facebook, and I'm going to plug in that website URL. And when I click out, it'll give me a preview. I saw this earlier. I'm actually re-recording this because the audio was bad on the live webinar, this section. And on the live webinar, I was pretty surprised that it pulls a nice little preview of the house. Just waiting for it to load here. Okay, lots of problems today, but you can probably see it right here. Facebook's acting slow, but you can probably see it kind of pulls a preview of the house with a question mark. There it is. So that's a pretty good image, but I wanted to show you my favorite technique for doing these seller ads that I know from lots of testing will get you the cheapest cost per click. And that technique is to head on over to Google Maps and search for a specific address. So I've already done that here. Search for the address in Maps and then click on the street view. And what you do is you're going to use Lightshot Screenshot program. and just grab like a rectangular, roughly 2x1, copy it, and then I'm going to head on over to my canvas in Google Draw. Now I know I'm going quick here, but this is I don't want to belabor this point. I just want to show you the hack real quick. I like to design images in Google Drive, and you can do a lot with that and screenshotting software. So I just pasted that in, and then I'm going to insert a text box and draw a question mark. It's real small right now. You probably can't see it, but I'm going to make it red, make it bigger. Maybe pick a weird font and then do like that. And then I can grab this and kind of turn it. And the whole idea is that this big bright red up top of the house will look weird in the Facebook news feed, and we'll get people to stop. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take another screenshot so that I get my Facebook image. I'm going to draw, and this time I need to be a little more precise. I want it to be pretty much exactly 2x1. So 827, you can see it at the top left, 425 by 850. That'll be like roughly 2x1. Doesn't have to be exact, but really close. And then I'll use light shot over here on the right, and I'll grab the pen and draw an arrow to that. And actually maybe make it yellow. I spend way too much time trying to do stuff like this and making it perfect. But, it's big, ugly. It's like a pattern interrupt. It's pointing at a house. It's a local street in their neighborhood, in their zip code. So they might there's a good chance they've even seen this corner before. That kind of thing is going on. It makes the ad a lot more relevant. So I'll save this, go back into Facebook, and I'll add more images and just upload that. Okay, and I'm gonna get rid of this other one with the question mark, but that might get you pretty far. If you don't want to do all the weird fancy stuff I did, I bet you the cost per click isn't too drastically different, but I also bet that 9 times out of 10, taking a little extra time to do that image with the ugly arrows and the local house will get you a cheaper click. So just waiting for this to load. And then we'll go here for the text of my ad. We'll say 33707 homeowner. Click to instantly see the current estimated value of your house. Okay. And you can get a little fancier. You could say home values continue to go up. Click to instantly see. I'll give you a little bonus here. Lately, I've been putting Facebook emojis in. So if you go into Google and you Google Facebook emojis, emoji right arrow, I think the first site that'll come up is this Emojipedia site. And I've been using this particular arrow. If I copy that, and they have a bunch of other ones you can use in your ads, but I don't want to make it look too corny, but I like to put the arrow right near there, and also the question mark. If you type up here and you do question mark, this question mark's pretty cool. So I copy that, and you can kind of spice up your ad, give it a little more color. So 33707 homeowner, this is going to be a very relevant ad. It's going to show a local corner, again, with question marks on top of the house, big ugly arrows, and this is, as far as I know, your best chance of getting the cheapest click possible. I'm sure other people are doing different things that work, but there it is. And even there, I think maybe I could have used a better house picture because you can't see the house too well. That could be a bad or a good thing. But there we go. See, you got the big red emoji, the arrow click. And last thing I forgot to do was the headline, check your 33707 home value. Now, and I can even get rid of the button on this instead of it saying learn more. Let's see how it does. So they'll just click to check if I want. But you know what? I'm going to do learn more. A little side, I don't want to take you on too much of a tangent. I have never tried this, but I know there are people who are doing it. You could also just put send message and do a messenger ad and get people to just message you about the value of their house and see if that works. You could generate conversation. That might be something I need to test, but I haven't personally. Your ad may be reach fewer people because you have too much text. I put too many question marks in there. So if you do get this, make sure there are less question marks. I got a little question mark happy. But for now, I'm just going to confirm this. I don't want to make you guys watch. And this ad will get you pretty darn far. And I'll include a link to it inside of the document that accompanies this video. So you can kind of copy it if you want to. Okay. So now the last thing I wanted to talk about was setting up a very simple remarketing ad so that you've now got all these cheap clicks, coming to your website for all these niche focused search ideas. But, you might be getting some leads and people are opting in. But of course, these days it's hard to get somebody to register for a property search and to work with you on the first exposure. So a very good course of practice is going to be to retarget all that traffic, which basically means you're going to show them more ads related to what you're doing right away. So I'm going to do a very simple ad here for you that kind of brands myself. You can do the same exact thing, and it'll just kind of cover everything, everybody coming to my site. I'm going to walk you through that process. So let's go back into the ads dashboard. I'm going to click up at the top left where it says Ads Manager, go to All Tools, and then I'm going to get my pixel. So I clicked on pixels there because we need to make sure our pixel is installed in our site. Now, while that loads, so many problems with Facebook today, I'm going to show you how to get the pixel installed. In KV Core, you can self-serve install it. So what you do is you go to Web and IDX. Okay, our pixel loaded here. We click Details. Sorry about that. They're always moving it around. It's going to be set up, I believe, right up here at the top right. And then I'll click Manually Install my code myself and scroll to the middle, copy the code. And then again, in the Web and IDX section in KV Core, you scroll down and it's best to put it in the header right up here. So let me see. I actually don't have it in there yet. So let me put that in. Click Save. Now on Conversion Plus, you're just there's a little link in the left side that says Send Conversion Pixel. What that's going to do is just going to open up an email that sends to support@insiderealestate.com. So just send them over your pixel, let them know your URL, and they'll get it installed for you pretty quickly. Okay, so that's the first step. Get that pixel installed. Next step is going to be to create the audience, like so. So I'm going to go again up at the top left, go to All Tools, and click Audiences. I'll then click Create Audience, Custom Audience, and I have a number of options here. Now you can upload customer lists and retarget based on engagement. We have a whole nother webinar in the archives, in the replays, where we dove into all these different options. But for today, I'm just going to go to website traffic, keep it really simple. Click on that. And then what I'm going to do is I could do all website visitors if this was the only website I had my pixel on. So if you're only using your Facebook ads account with one website, then you could just do all website visitors. But there's a good chance if you're doing this stuff, you're using multiple. So in this case, I'm going to do people who visited specific web pages, and I'll just type part of my URL. So ryanhartman.exprealty.com. So URL contains that. So any URL that has that, and I'll do the past 90 days, 30 days. I might even do, in this case, 7 days. So just the recent people, and I'll do 7-day site visitors. 7-day visitors, ryanhartman.exprealty.com, because other people are using this account. So I'll click Create. Now, once you've created that audience, even if nobody's visited the pixel yet, you can actually run an ad that targets that audience. And as people are added to the pixel, as they visit your website from the other niche focused ads you've run today, they'll be added to that audience, and then you can start to see your retargeting ad. So what I want to do now is show you a very simple ad that you could run. Let's do it. Okay, I'll go into my same campaign here. And you can run a whole different campaign for your retargeting or keep it all in the same campaign. It's up to you. We'll click to create an ad. And this time, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to run a messages ad where people are going to direct message me for retargeting. Now, I haven't done this before, but the very ad for retargeting, I haven't done it. But the very ad I'm going to run, you can easily do as a traffic ad as well and have people click back to your contact page or something like that. But let's try doing an ad that gets them to directly message us in Facebook. And you'll see where I'm going here in a minute. Basically, what I want to do is I want to say, hey, thanks. You were on my website recently. And reach out if you have any questions. I'm going to let them reach out through Messenger. Now, while Facebook loads, again, it's very slow today. I've gone ahead on in my Google Canvas here, my Google Draw, took a picture of myself with my finger pointing down like this. I probably could have done better, but let's just see. Like so. Click send message, and I'm going to make this my image for my ad. And then my copy is going to tell them to reach out. So that's roughly 2 by 1. I like it. I'll save that. And now I'm going to choose that audience. So where I'm going to go is right down here where it says custom audiences. And it should be right up top. It says 7-day site visitors, the one I just created. And even though there's nobody in that audience yet, I just put my pixel in. It'll start to show the ad to those people as they come in. And if I want to make sure that it's only people, say, in my state or in my area, I can also put that in. But it should all be all people who visited my site. You can geo-target here as well if you want. Maybe I want to exclude people who snuck in who were too young. And that's about it. Keep it at 22 because some of my ads were running that early. And I'm happy with that. Now for the retargeting, I don't need to spend much. I can spend $3 a day. 5 should be plenty to hit a lot of people. Click continue. Then I'll take them back to my fan page. Got my Opportunity Knocks page. And then my image is going to be that one I just created in Draw there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Now, I gave that tip earlier about asking a question in the fan page name. I'm using my Opportunity Knocks page, but I do also have a fan page. It's just my name. And if you want to brand yourself, maybe you have your name / realtor or just your name. It wouldn't be the worst idea to use that page here just so they kind of recognize your name and can tie it with tie it together with the emails that they're getting through their auto responses from Conversion and KV Course. So that's what I'll actually do. So, and when you use just your name, you see how it kind of just looks like one of their friends. It still says sponsored up here, but it kind of just looks, raw, like you clicked it. And then I have a speech bubble. It says click send message. And now I'm going to do with my copy, I'm going to say, hi, thanks for checking out my real estate website recently. If you have any questions or want to know about the best deal or opportunity I know about in St. Pete right now, just click send message. As a bonus, I'll also tell you a dirty joke if you want. All right. So point is, you can have fun with this, right? So you can be as professional or unprofessional as you want to be. I happen to, not dress well, dress very professionally. I just am raw, and that attracts a certain type of person. And you can just be yourself and do some attraction marketing here. Here I am. It's my name. They're getting emails from me at this point. There's a picture of me. They might have seen my picture on the website, and then it says, hey, thanks for checking out my website. I'll tell you a dirty joke if you want, just to kind of give people a fun reason. Anybody who'd be interested in a dirty joke, they might smile to do that. So send, ask Ryan a real estate question, something like that. Like I said, I've never done this as a retarget, this send message, but it occurs to me this might be a really cool thing to do on a retarget. So there you go. And that's it. So now people are visiting my site from all those niche ads that we showed up here earlier in the webinar, right? And they're going out and going out about their business. Maybe they're bouncing off my site. Maybe they're not registering and becoming a lead. Maybe they are becoming a lead and they're starting to get emails. And then a few days later, they're hanging on Facebook, and then there I am again with another ad. Another thing you can do on this retargeting, of course, is to run maybe retarget with different angles. So if you're running the rent-to-own ad, maybe you then go ahead and retarget those rent-to-own people with the list of starter homes, right? Whatever. So you kind of like chain auto respond with retargeting the different property types, so, or, you show the bigger house people something, they click, they look around, and then they're seeing you talk about income properties. So lots of possibilities. I want to see how this goes with this send message idea. I think it could be pretty cool. And that's it. So I think we covered a lot here today. Sorry for the audio issues and the sluggishness of Facebook. But that's about it. We'll be back next week for our live Tuesday session, 3 p.m. East. Get rid of this message, and the document should be below here. You'll have a link to all of our replays. You can also get the replays in the Facebook Ads Tactics here, and just feel free to be in touch in the Facebook group or at rhartman at InsideRealEstate.com if you have any questions about any of this. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one.